Congratulations to the Questrom class of 2018, you did it. It's truly an honor for me to be part of this very special day. I'd like to start by taking a moment to thank Dean Freeman. As you know, Ken is stepping down as Dean of Questrom. Under Ken's leadership, Questrom has made great strides in enhancing the academic rigor and reputation of the institution, supporting and strengthening the faculty and staff, encouraging and accelerating alumni engagement through the Questrom gift as well as through gifts of many kinds, and reinforcing a strong relationship with the student community, my favorite example of which is choosing to have his office, a cube really, on the second floor amidst the hustle and bustle of the school. I've known Ken for about 6 years, and it's been such an honor to work with him. I've learned a lot about leadership, humility, and kindness from Ken, and I'll miss working with him, but I know that our paths will continue to cross. So Ken, thank you. You know, when Ken asked me to speak, he said, now Molly, I need you to keep it to 10 minutes. Do you think you can do that? And I said, that's not going to be a problem. And then later on in the conversation, he said, yeah, I know I said 10, but 8 would be great. So I wrote it, and I practiced it, and I timed it, and rehearsed it, and I got it to 8 minutes. And then I got the agenda, and it says I have 10 to 15 minutes. So Ken, I think I'm going to take about a minute back, if that's okay. So look, I've spent a lot of time and solicited a lot of advice about what to talk to you all about today. Believe me, my former classmates thought it would be an awesome idea to tell you about all of my escapades as an undergraduate, but I will save those for another day. Although, I do owe the BU police a much belated thank you for very kindly extracting me from a tree on the BU beach and graciously sending me back to my dorm at 3 a.m. Now, I thought that a tree was an awesome hiding place, and I still maintain that that's true. However, I have learned that it's a much better hiding place when there are leaves on the tree. So, there you go. So, writing this speech was a pretty daunting assignment until I came across this picture. I'm not sure they can put it up here. I have it here. Oh, there it is. That's a picture of me and my dad 31 years ago, almost to the day when I graduated from what was then SMG. And I was immediately transported back to what it felt like to be a newly minted graduate. And you know, all my friends and family thought I had the world by the tail. I had a job and a bank training program. I'd put a deposit down on an apartment, and I had 2 whole weeks between when I graduated and when I started my new job. The truth was, I was scared. I had been a student all my life, and now I was about to make the transition into a professional world and move to a city, Providence, Rhode Island, where I knew no one. And that got me thinking, well, maybe some people sitting on the floor here today may also be feeling that same way. And is there anything that I've learned in the past 31 years that might be helpful to you as you embark on your transition? And it turns out I think there's a couple. There's the importance of ethics, and I could spend all of my allotted time talking about ethics and ethical behavior, and how if your experience is anything like mine, you're going to be placed in situations where you have to make a snap decision about what the right thing to do is, and that often those decisions are unpopular and unclear and difficult. I could talk to you about how amazed you will be at how small the business world really is, and that your reputation is the single most valuable piece of currency you have in that world. So care for it and don't ever take it for granted. And I could talk to you about the value of teamwork and building diverse teams, not just diverse in terms of gender or ethnicity, but in terms of experiences and values. But then I realized, you've learned all of those things, ethics, reputation, teamwork. You've learned all of them at Questrom. So look, if you remember nothing else from this address, please remember this. You all already have all of the tools you need to succeed in your toolkit. You learned them and practiced them here. So instead, I want to tell you a story about something that I didn't learn in the classrooms of BU, but that BU taught me nevertheless. And it's the thing that has made the most significant difference in my life. And that's the impact of seeing the potential in others and reaching out your hand to them. It's something I've been taught by BU again and again, and it's one of the reasons it's such an honor to be here today. Because you see, BU did that for me many years ago, and BU continues to do that for me today. I grew up in a rural town in Pennsylvania in a single-parent household, an only child, and there was no tradition of going to college in my family, or even moving away from home if you're a young woman. But my mother drilled into me from a very early age that I was going to be the one to go to college. Now, I knew almost no one who had been to college, but I had two things going for me. I was smart and I was poor. And it turns out that that's exactly what BU was looking for. I applied to BU sight unseen because I thought the pictures of Bay State Road in the fall looked nice in the brochure. This is way before internet. I knew I wanted a business degree because I thought that would help me be financially independent, and I was tired of being poor. And basically at 17, I just wanted to run away from home. And BU offered me a full academic scholarship and a work-study job and a beautiful room in Towers East, room 403. Anyone? No? Okay. And I jumped at the chance. So I came in as a very raw, extremely unsophisticated, and frankly undisciplined teenager. Now's probably a good time to let you know that until midway through my sophomore year, I had a B- average. But I came out of BU with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, with a concentration in finance, with honors. I had a job, I had an apartment, and I had something I'd never had before, and that was self-confidence and the knowledge that if I could do what I set my mind to, if I worked hard, and that I could have a life that I could only dream about, and in fact had dreamed about before I came here. BU gave me that. BU reached out its hand to me. BU saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And it has made all the difference. Everything I have achieved since then, working at a top-tier consulting firm, getting my MBA, achieving a C-level title at one of the world's largest banks, is all because BU gave me a shot. And that's something we all have in common, whether BU is your first choice or your only choice, whether you're a scholarship student or a transfer student, whether you had an awesome experience or you struggled at BU, and I both had an awesome experience and struggled at BU. BU reached out their hand and saw your potential. Remember that. One day, BU will reach out and see your potential again and ask you to be of service to the university. Please consider it. You never know where it will take you. Here's where it took me, here, literally right here, talking to you guys. Many years after I graduated, BU reached out to me and asked how I might like to get involved. What was I interested in? What was my experience at BU? That led to me getting connected to students through mentorship opportunities. It led me to get to know the faculty and look for ways to help support their priorities as they strengthen Questrom's reputation. To host alumni events in my hometown of Chicago. To join the Questrom Dean's Advisory Board, my first ever board position. And to identify and pursue one of my passions, which is to provide financial support for the next generation of people like me. And it's been a great ride. So you'll come across people in your life that have potential. They may be unpolished or not look like you or not have the right pedigree. But look for the potential and reach out your hand. It doesn't have to be about money. It can be about time or sharing of experiences and helping them see that they too can have a life that they may only dream about. It has meant and continues to mean so much to me that BU saw the potential in me. The opportunity to do the same for others has provided me a sense of satisfaction that is far more lasting than money or title or the corner office. With that, I will close and say once again, congratulations, Questrom Class of 2018. Take care of each other and choose to be great.